thank you all for very interesting talks. I've heard that actually infrastructure is destiny. So infrastructure and urban planning is for sure super relevant. But yeah, I have two questions. Holistic planning sounds super good, but how do we do it? I mean, what can we do now? And this also relates to my other questions. So which decisions or actions are needed from decision makers, from industry, from researchers to create an urban planning that supports shared mobility?
Okay, I got a feeling that the first question was pointed at me. Holistic planning, yeah. The true answer to this, I think, these people, the students that we will be working with this very shortly, have the answer to, or I hope they will have the answer to. But if I should say something, perhaps, my point here was that the education for the future urban planners has to give them tools to understand the environment, the environmental necessities and so on, the social resilience, understanding why democracy is important, for instance, that could be something, knowledge about what is a smart city and how does it affect us. So, and exactly how to do this, I mean, that has to be something that I think the what do you say, the specific city or the context in which you have to solve these problems in is what will define how you solve these problems. So I saw, for instance, like one of your last pictures, you had this suburban, urban, rural discussion. It was more like future research things, perhaps. So, but I think that's something really interesting to think of. I mean, it's easy for us to think of a city center and how shared mobility could be available for everyone in the city center. But is it also something that is interesting or even a possibility for someone living in a rural environment? I mean, that's something to think of. I don't have any answers. I just have more questions, perhaps. But.
So, yeah, just a comment. I think it sounds wonderful that we integrated in the education, but as we heard this morning, 1.0 degree is here. So I think it will take some time for those excellent students to become decision makers and go out there and really make change. So then maybe I ask the questions to you. What can we do now?
Is it on? Yeah, I feel the question is for me. When we really decide to do something, the technical part isn't the problem. It's the other parts. It's the human behavior and the politics. That's the two parts. When I can take two good examples. When German politicals decide that solar energy is one of the key solutions for the future, they put money into the solar business. They develop new panels, and then China will make them like this. It's no problem. When the government in Norway decided that electrical cars is the way to go, subsidize that, and see the amount of electrical cars in Norway. So it has to be political courage. The technical part we will take care of, I'm pretty sure.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Are you pleased with your answers, Anna, or? Sort of. Sort of. Right. Anyone else? Up for questions. Oh, here we go. I'm brilliant.
So I'll take you one step further, and maybe others will chime in on this too. So Sweden is still making fossil fuel cars. And obviously, the report that came out this week suggests that this is a really bad idea. And since we're here in Sweden, let's stick with that. We won't talk about other countries. So what would it take for, and who would be the one to step up besides Greta Thunberg to say no more cars, or at least no more gasoline cars now? Now, not a year from now, not 2040 or 2090 or something like this. How do you get it done now?
Should we let Magnus pick that one up?
Maybe it's possible for a small part community to say yes, thank you. We give it a try. And if follow your roads, I think they have to have assistance, both politically and money-wise, to say, okay, give it a try. And in the Kompass group, I think we have can see different areas, towns that are prepared to give it a try, but it's going to be a tough one to live without cars. But I have been skiing up in Zermatt and other places, or so they are car-free zones around the world. So why not? So political, economical support, and citizen support. Because I agree. I think we have the technology to support it. The trick. Thanks.
Thank you. We're all getting hungry, so I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to ask a last question myself, since I'm the moderator. I'm really thinking about people that are going to live in the future that we're talking about, the students. So how do you sort of feel about this idea? I mean, we're talking about towns with no cars from now, sort of. Earlier on, we heard people talking about if the share rides are to become attractive, it has to offer something sort of more than it does maybe today. The freedom. Just a few words maybe from you guys, how you look upon this aspect of like rechanging our cities and how we move about. Or maybe you already have another way of transporting yourselves than sort of most of us around here.
Okay. I think, is it on?
Yep.
Okay. I think that one of the things that would make it more, I don't know, like people are wanting to go and do the shared transports would be, like we said earlier, the flexibility in making sure that you can like depend on it and that it's a dependable system. Because if you're trying to get somewhere and you can't be for certain that you'll be able to make it on time and you have to plan maybe a lot of extra time just to make sure you can make it to your stop by the time you'd like to be there. I just think that that's a really big thing, is the dependability and like that promise. Because I don't think that it's a big deal sharing it with people that you don't know. Like I think one of the graphs showed earlier, it's just the dependability of it and the flexibility.
Great, thanks. Do you others want to? Not you. No, you can say a few words if you want to. Sorry, I was just addressing sort of the young people here, but God, this is getting worse. I'm really coloring myself into a corner. Yeah. Anyway, do you want to add to something on that?
I think she hit on a good point when she said that it's not the strangers. I mean, you have things like Uber now. So when we were kids, it was always our parents telling us, don't talk to strangers online and don't get in the car with strangers. But now you call strangers from online to come pick you up and take you where you need to go. So that's not I don't think that's the big deal. I think it's getting it kind of maybe endorsed by people, getting it out there more for people to see. I mean, some of the biggest trends from society start from like athletes or movie stars, people like that endorsing things and just getting the visibility out there. I think the first step is to have a good idea and a good product, which I think this is and could be. So once that gets out there and advertised, I think that would help a lot.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. And I do feel rude now, Magnus. Do you want to have a few last words?
Yes, we'd like to say that Peter also produced a video.
That's right.
With help of the Komvux in Bollnäs. I don't think it's on. Maybe it's on. And during the lunch break, yes. We will show this 10 minutes video over there somewhere. So just a little opportunity.
Perfect. Thank you for that comment. And thank you very much to the panel.
And thank you, Clara. Big applause, please.